So guys, congratulations with one more green candle of Bitcoin. Basically here we were talking about that it's something close to the breakout and probably will go one way or another. To be honest with you, I wasn't sure. It was like 50-50 where it will go. Personally, I was leaned to thinking that it will go upwards, and now we'll tell like the whole story, what we were thinking about before. Basically, I was saying that here we had a lot of the volume and sort of a sideways trading action where huge players probably were accumulating a lot of positions, and since we didn't go lower here but went upwards, I would expect that they wanted to sell the long positions somewhere higher, and this was not enough high for them. Actually, I think they maybe even accumulated more, and here it wasn't long enough, so I would think that they would need to push price even higher and keep either even higher or keep the price long at some relatively high level. Somewhere around here is good enough, but they may try to push it even higher. And I was thinking as well that since we have this previous high here, if the price will go above this high, then it will be a signal for a lot of the people that we are on a bullish trend, because it's like higher low, higher high, so people would have to buy because in the expectation that the price will go even higher because of this is an uptrend. And at such liquidity, the huge players could release their positions and sell basically, and after that the correction of the upwards movement could start, and we can see maybe even lower values than before, maybe even test the previous low. But so far it seemed to me that we still have a room to grow, and basically the same as here. You can see we had some huge red candles here, little lower, little smaller, and very small one, and then like bears got out of steam, no power to push the price lower. But then pretty much the same happens with the positive movement to the upside. So you see this one was pretty strong with probably with quite a correction, but still this is not that strong. This is even weaker, and we may have like one or two even weaker movements after that, and that would lead us to this position like 4,400, maybe 500 on Coinbase. That would be higher, and then this area, and a lot of people will buy in. Also, if we look at the daily chart, we shall see that right now we're very much oversold on RSI. It was pretty much the same as was in July when it was $8,000. So the correction of this movement should happen, guys. It should unavoidably happen, but the question is when, because on the other side the momentum, the inertia of this move is really strong. It could potentially go even like to $5,000 easily if the buyers will push the price really with a strong pressure. But again, we can still be a bit higher, but correction will come, and it's just the question how at which point and how far, how deep this correction will be. I would think, like I would presume that again we'll go like 4,500 or something, and then correct to maybe like 3,700 or something like that, and we'll see how it'll go after that. I also should say that if we look at the daily moving averages, then we are continuing to approach to this intersection, and that would be pretty much the signal again to buy and like provide the liquidity for the market. And in fact, a lot of the altcoins made gains, so everything should be quite corrected right now, but we're still have room to grow. Another thing is that somewhere at this point we were considering the patterns from Elliot waves theory, and I think that we need to return to that thanks to Alicia Restani, who reminded me about those patterns and those approach which we considered before and didn't look recently at this approach. So technically we have 1 to 5 waves, and let me actually show you what is the waves possible to happen. Basically you can have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves of Elliot pattern, and then the corrective wave is like ABC wave. And some people would argue that we are now in number 4, and we still have number 5 on the way, and inside number 4 you may see something like this, like ABC correction, ABC wave within the 4, and then when it will be over we will go even lower. So it's very likely for those people to think that basically this is ABC. But let's just show how it could look like. Then probably like this. So this is 1, 2, 3, and they would argue this is 4, or maybe something like this will be 4, and then we'll go even lower to 5. And they would argue that this is A, B, and C, well, something like that, and they would have this correction afterwards, like number 5 wave. What I think is that it's really unlikely to happen, because number 4 is usually quite short, and this is too long for number 4. And what I think is more likely is that, again, if you look at this figure, at this figure, basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the correction wave ABC. So if we return to our chart, then you can see that we can draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like this, like for example 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we have this ABC correction wave going like this, A, B, C. Yeah, it's also not that pretty, but you know, this is crypto and this is pretty much possible. So moreover, we can go to like D, E, so we have like 5 waves in this if we'll continue. And in fact, this may be a point, if we'll go like this, for example, then this may be the point where the new trend will start, and it will be the sort of the bifurcation point when we will not know whether we will have a correction or we actually have enough momentum to go even higher, to have like some more ways to the upside. It's really possible, guys. So I think this is more likely to happen, and I don't believe that this was the 4-wave correction anymore. So maybe it's actually still will be extended, and we'll see how this will react with strong resistances at 4,200. But guys, I personally think that we're about to be over. But again, I would lean to the opinion that after C we need to go lower. We need to correct all this movement, all this significant rise, and that maybe just 30% of that or 50% of that, or we even could try to test low again, although I don't really believe that. Okay, this is probably it for the technical analysis part. So let's see at the news. Just a couple of things happened. Basically everybody are bragging about like we are in the new trend and we're going upwards and everything, but let's not follow into this FOMO news, but just look at some fundamental ones. Korea Exchange official, US decision on Bitcoin ETF will set tone for local crypto market. Basically, they would say that this regulation is very important, and a lot of other countries may also approve the ETF after United States will do that, and that will make a huge boost on every small country in the world towards leaning towards crypto, and this is reasonable. So that's why ETF is not something like a bubble, but this is really huge. Regulations are required for huge financial institutions, for huge capital to enter the crypto. So we're looking forward to see what will happen. Another one is that from Thailand, Thai Parliament approves amendments allowing issuance of tokenized securities. It's not that huge, guys, but still, I must say that we can see such news nearly every day. And basically, do you see anything like in a negative way about that? Like some countries banned tokenized securities or banned crypto or something. Recently, nothing of that happening. And basically, that means that the overall sentiment about crypto is very positive. A lot of the people are involved, and already too much of the reputation and money and capital are put on stake. I would say that we are in a very nice fundamental position to grow in terms of growth of crypto and blockchain technologies space. So we'll see. Price probably follow eventually. Okay, so summing up, guys, with the fact that still I believe that probably should go higher, but since we already made it, like the same as here, you see, the lower we went, the less likely I would estimate the probability of going even lower. So I would say it's reasonable to buy here, it's reasonable to buy here, it's even more reasonable to buy here. The same with uptrend. It was sort of wise to sell a bit here. It was very reasonable to sell some portion here. It is absolutely wise to sell quite a lot of the positions if you had some from this point or somewhere around here, to sell it here. But of course, don't say sell everything, but you can save for the future growth and leave some stop orders and everything. Again, it's everything which I say is my personal opinion, not financial advice, but I would expect that it would be just better from the point of view of the risk management to have some of the profits already fixed and then just expect it to be even better in the future. Okay guys, that is it for today. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you again tomorrow. Safe trading. Goodbye.